It's not always an injury on the court that takes you out. Pain and mobility issues arrive anywhere, at any time. The sports medicine providers at MSU Healthcare are here for your comeback.
Patients should expect that we'll spend time with them and listen to their symptoms, tailor a physical examination to their issues, and customize a treatment plan, whether it's surgical or non-surgical, to help them get back to their active lifestyle and goals that they're interested in.
Sports medicine is a bit of a misnomer. We don't only treat athletes or people involved in organized sport. I think the better title for this would really be movement medicine. If you have something that's limiting your ability to do those tasks, we're here for you to help you and get you back moving again.
Even though you're injured doesn't mean you can't be active, and I like being creative and finding ways to keep you active even though we're trying to rehab you through an injury or complaint.
MSU Healthcare Sports Medicine, official providers of MSU athletes and you.
Women's flat track roller derby is played on a variety of floors and surfaces, including concrete, sport court, and wood. The track layout is 108 feet by 75 feet and is flat and oval. It also includes both outside lane and infield area for officials. You'll notice there are two primary lines across one side of the straightaway on the track. The back line is called the jammer line, and jammers must start each jam behind that line on the track. The other line is called the pivot line, and blockers start the jam anywhere on the track between the jammer line and the pivot line. Once the jam starts, the skaters are allowed to skate forward, past these lines, and start making contact. But they must stay on the track at all times, if they can help it. Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right? Roller derby is a hard-hitting contact sport played on quad roller skates. The object of the game is simple. Score a point for every opponent you pass. But getting there is not so simple. At the beginning of the jam, each team fields a jammer. The jammer is the skater with the star on her helmet, and she is the only one allowed to score points for her team. After the whistle, each jammer must make what's called their initial pass through the pack before they can start scoring points. On each subsequent pass, they can score 1 point for each opposing blocker they pass upright and inbounds on the track. If a jammer completely laps an opposing jammer, she can also earn a point for passing her. Each point is scored by the jammer's hips getting past her opponents, not her skates, requiring speed, agility, and even a little creativity.
All right, we're just about ready to get started. We are going to start with team introductions, as is Derby tradition. We will start with our visiting team first. Skating for Downriver this evening, we've got number 17, Jessica Rabid. Number 264, Timber Tantrum. Number 310, Roxy Wrecker. Number 314, Sour Apple Pie. Number 369, Moxie Fox. Number 4, Breezy. Number 41, Squitch It. Number 44, Ronald Reagan. Ragin, rather. Number 48, Dread Velvet. Number 50, Hot Mess Express. Number 620 or 602, Stormageddon. Number 621, Equinox. Number 7, Cotton Candy Princess. And rounding out the roster, number 717, Anna Manic. As always, Downriver Roller Derby will be coached by Eat, Chip, and Die. This is our visiting team, Downriver Roller Derby. And our home team, you know them, you love them, wearing purple this evening, we have Wait for the high fives first. And our home team tonight, you know them, you love them, wearing purple this evening. We've got number 101, Gadget Goes Berserk. Number 104, Night Train, Choo Choo. Number 13, Babs the Bruiser. Number 130, Fairy Fire. Number 14, Warhol. Number 15, Ghost Particle. Number 25, Beef. Number 3232, Annie Despenko. Number 331, Hemlocked. Number 39, Meowch. Number 503, Cosmic Slams, Cozy. Number 789, Will Ferrell. Number 88, Ready, Set, Riot. Number 9, Bad Aptitude. And number 93, Scrappy. Lansing Roller Derby will be coached tonight by Coach Yar, Coach Strega, and Poison. This is your Lansing Roller Derby. And wearing the stars for this bout, we have D-Rive, Bruce Willis, Flame, So-and-so, you know, I know, you know, and Axel Rolls. Five seconds has been called. We're about to get this jam rolling. Number 717, Anna on the jam line for our visiting team Downriver, but it's Fairy Fire, number 130. Just a little bit faster. Fairy Fire is going to be lead jammer. Fairy Fire, ooh, hitting that Downriver line at full force, calls it off. And everybody's on the board with something. Fairy Fire picking up 3 points there for Lansing. Anna Manic answering with 1 point for Downriver. Both teams on the board this first jam. Rocky Wrecker picking up the first penalty of the game there for Downriver. So we got a 3-on-4 pack going into this next jam. We've got Sour Apple Pie on the jam line for Downriver. Number 39, Meowch, wearing the star for Lansing. Yet again, Lansing taking lead jammer. We got a star pass to number 602, Stormageddon of Downriver. Meowch calls off the jam mid-pack. And Meowch picked up all 4 points there for Lansing. Downriver held scoreless. Jessica Rabbit, number 17, taking the star for Downriver this jam, joined by number 93, Scrappy, jamming for Lansing. Lansing not making it easy for Jessica Rabbit there at the front of the pack. Number 25, Beef Pivot, holding things down. Ready, Set, Riot, guarding the inside lane. Scrappy busted through that Downriver wall, picking up lead jammer for Lansing. Scrappy coming in for first scoring pass. Number 25, Beef holding that inside lane open for Scraps. Scrappy picks up all 4 points, calls it off. Downriver held scoreless yet again. Beef's reward for that fabulous blocking will be a 30-second penalty. She'll be joined in the penalty box by Cotton Candy Princess of Downriver. So we got a 3-on-3 pack situation here. Anna Manick returns to the jam line for Downriver, joined by 3-3-1 Hemlocked of Lansing, and it's going to be Hemlocked taking away lead jammer. Anna Manick called out on a, didn't see the ref's hands there, but and Hemlock's going to call off the jam. Anna Manick headed to the penalty box. 2 points going on the board for Lansing. That's going to bring their total up to 13. Downriver trailing at 1. So this is going to be a power jam for Lansing, and we've got Fairy Fire, number 130, back on the jam line. Still got a 3-on-3 pack. Lansing blockers at a standstill there. Bad aptitude, moving to break up that 3 wall there. Fairy Fire takes the outside and runs with it. Fairy Fire will be lead jammer. Beef returns to the pack from the penalty box. Fairy Fire coming in for her first scoring pass of the jam. Bad aptitude holds the inside lane open. Fairy Fire picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. Anna Manick coming back out of the penalty box with the star in her hand. And Anna Manick puts the star back on her head. This Fairy Fire coming in for her second scoring pass, slamming right into the back of Stormageddon there. Calls off the jam. And Fairy Fire picked up 3 more points there. 7-point jam there for Lansing. Five-on-five going into this jam. It's an all skate. And number 17, Jessica Rabbit, back on the jam line for Downriver. Number 39, Meowch, wearing the star for Lansing. Meowch looks for the hole in the back of the pack there. Number 4 of Downriver takes a tumble. Meowch takes advantage, picking up lead jam there for Lansing. Jessica Rabbit taking a ride to the outside there on a Lansing blocker. Jessica Rabbit now out of that pack. Lansing sends a Downriver blocker to the inside lane. That was Cotton Candy. And Meow's going to have a seat in the penalty box. Now it's a power jam for Downriver. And Jessica Rabbit quintupling Downriver score for 4 points. Jessica Rabbit coming in for a second scoring pass. Nice work there nice defense there from Lansing. Lansing's gonna force Jessica Rabbit halfway around the track. That was Will Farrell there in the back of the pack there. Jessica still working her way through that Lansing defense. Annie DeSpanko and Night Train teamed up at the front of the pack there. Here comes Meowch taking a ride on number 4, Breezy. And Meowch still picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. Breezy headed to the penalty box for that block. Oops. Jessica Rabbit still working on that second scoring pass. Meowch blasts right by, picking up another 4 points for Lansing. 8-point jam so far for Meowch. We've got 10 seconds left to go. Jessica Rabbit taking another ride on Will Farrell there. Taking a tumble there. Night Train going to join in the fun, and that's going to be the jam. 12-point jam there for Lansing. That's going to bring their total up to 32. Downriver trailing at 9. gosh, I don't know who that is. We've got number 717, Anna Manick, back on the jam line for Downriver, but it's number 93, Scrappy, picking up lead jammer. Anna Manick goes for the apex jump, doesn't quite stick the landing there. Scrappy calls it. And Anna did not pick up the points that jam. Scrappy did pick up 1 point for Lansing. And Axel Rolls has called an official timeout. Looks like Chip has something to say about Downriver's points on that jam. Want to give another shout out to the Salis Center. The Salis Center's mission is to build and serve an inclusive 2S LGBTQIA+ community in the greater Lansing area. They envision a greater Lansing community where 2S LGBTQIA+ people thrive as their whole authentic selves. Coming up on Tuesday, March 31st, Salis Center will be holding their 4th annual Trans of Visibility celebration at Gruel Hall in downtown Lansing. There will be a clothing swap and resource fair with local organizations, all free to attend. Come celebrate yourself and your loved ones by picking out new clothes and accessories. And if you're having a good time right here at Court 1, make sure you also mark your calendars for April 25th. That will be Lansing's next game. Right here, another doubleheader beginning at 4:30. That will be Lansing Roller Derby's next home game. Five seconds has been called. You know what that means? We're back to the action. Number 314, Sour Apple Pie, taking the star for Downriver. Number 331, Hemlock, jamming for Lansing, and it's Hemlock 2 for 2, picking up lead jam for Lansing. Ronald Rajan comes to have a seat in the penalty box. Sour Apple Pie not too far behind. Hemlock hits the pack at full force. Sour Apple Pie hits the pack, and Hemlock calls it. So we got a double goose egg on that jam. Sour Apple Pie successfully forcing a call off there. Stormageddon picking up a penalty on that jam. So we're going to be starting this next jam with a 2-on-4 pack there. Advantage Lansing. Fairy Fire back on the jam line. Anna Manick also wearing the star for Downriver, and Fairy Fire, blink and you miss it, picking up lead jammer. Anna Manick goes for the inside, outside block by Ready Set Riot. Fairy Fire coming in for her first scoring pass. Stormageddon the last line of defense. Fairy Fire shrugs that off. Coming around for 4. Animaniac free at last. Baby Apex jumping. Fairy Fire takes the outside. Animaniac not quite as lucky, taking a bounce there off of Beef on the inside. Another 4 points going on the board for Fairy Fire. Animaniac has to line. Oh, Animaniac picked up a penalty there for that Apex attempt. It's going to be a power jam for Lansing. While I was talking about all that, Fairy Fire picked up another 4 points there for Lansing. 12-point jam so far. Fairy Fire making it a 16-point jam for Lansing. And we still have 44 seconds left to go on the jam clock. Oh, Fairy Fire taking a big hit there from Breezy to the outside. Fairy Fire a little wiser to Breezy's tricks this time. Zooming on by for another 4 points. It's a 20-point jam for Fairy Fire. Anna Manic out of the penalty box, ready to score, picking up 4 points for Downriver. And Fairy Fire scoots through for, you guessed it, another 4 points. Calls off the jam with 5 seconds left to go. 24-point jam for Lansing. And that's going to catapult their total to 57 points. Downriver trailing at 13. And we are not even 12 minutes left. 12 minutes into the first half, and Axel Rolls has called an official timeout. Okay, timeout is over. Back of the action. Ronald Rajan taking the star for the first time this evening for Downriver. Meouch taking the star for the third or fourth time. I can't remember which because I can't count. But I can see that Meouch is lead jammer. Ronald Reagan looking to get a star pass over to number 17, Jessica Rabbit. There in the pack. Meouch blasting through for 4 points. Lansing putting up a nice strong defense there for Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit has to get past Will Farrell and Night Train there in the pack. Both jammers caught up in the pack here. And Meouch coming around for another 4 points. Jessica Rabbit takes a spill on the outside lane there. Led back by Cosmic Slams of Lansing. Meouch, meanwhile, going for a third scoring pass. Another 4 points going on the board for Lansing. 12-point jam. That's going to put their total at 69. Jessica Rabbit cooling her wheels in the penalty box. It's a power jam for Lansing. And Lansing runs right into that pack. Nice hit. Nice little love tap there from number 4, Breezy of Downriver. And another love tap from Breezy, but Meouch is on her way for another 4 points, 16-point jam so far for Meouch. And Jessica Rabbit released from the penalty box just as the jam comes to an end. And Lansing has called for an official review. So Lansing was requesting that a track cut penalty be called on the Downriver Jammer. Lansing actually won this one. The refs agreed with Lansing, and they get to the Downriver Jammer. Jessica Rabbit will be sitting in the penalty box for the next 30 seconds, and Lansing retains their official review. Now that you Derby nerds know the ins and outs of what just happened, let's get back to the action. Number 93, Scrappy, is on the jam line for this is a power jam for our home team. Number 50, Hot Mess Express, takes a swing and a miss there at Scrappy. Hot Mess Express head up to the penalty box for that hit, and Scrappy is going to be lead jammer. Scrappy skates right into the Downriver 3 wall. Ready, Set, Riot comes in to break up that wall, and Scrappy skates away with all 4 points. Jessica Rabbit coming back into action with the star pass over to 602 Stormageddon of Downriver. Scrappy picking up another 4 points for another scoring pass. 8-point jam so far for Lansing. And Stormageddon answering with the 4 points for Downriver. And Scrappy picks up another 4, 12-point jam for Scraps, and she calls it off. Animatic returns to the jam line for Downriver, right along with Hemlock, number 331 of Lansing. And right before we can get the jam started, Coach Chip has called a team timeout for Downriver. Sports fans out there watching, if you're having a great time tonight, you want to see more roller derby action, don't forget, mark your calendars for April 25th. That is going to be the date of Lansing's next home game. Opponent to be announced, but first whistle will be at 4:30 right here at Court 1. All right, timeout's over. We're back into action. Anna Manick still on the jam line for Downriver. Hemlock still jamming for Lansing. Anna Manick, oh, so close, Anna. Nice recycling there from Cosmic Slams and Night Train. Babs the Bruiser also coming in to assist with the blocking. No wonder Hemlock is lead jammer. And Hemlock, meanwhile, running right into Cotton Candy Princess. And Roxy Wrecker on her initial scoring pass. Nice apex jab there from Anna Manick. This is Anna's first scoring pass. Anna picking up all 4 points there for Downriver. Hemlock coming in for a second scoring pass. Wow. You blink and you miss it. Hemlock putting another 4 points on the board for Lansing. Oh, beautiful recycling there for Manny DeSpanko there on Anna Manick. Anna Manick called out on, I believe that was a track cut. This is going to be a power jam for Lansing. Another 4 points there for Hemlock. 12-point jam so far for Lansing. That's going to put them just 3 points below the century mark at 97. Back is bunched up on the straightaway here. Hemlock running right into a 3-wall. Roxy Wrecker and Hot Mess Express holding things down there for Downriver. But Hemlock skates away with another 4 points. 16-point jam so far for everybody counting at home. Sour Apple Pie holding down that line of defense there for Downriver along with Squidget. Anna Manick coming out of that penalty box. Nice little hip bump on the outside there from Annie DeSpanko. Now it's Cosmic Slam's turn to do the recycling, and that's going to be the jam. Anna Manick did pick up 3 more points in that jam. Hemlock coming in with 2 18-point jam there for Lansing, and that is going to take them over the century mark up to 103. Downriver trailing at 25. Fairy Fire on the jam line for Lansing, joined by Breezy, number 4 of Downriver. Fairy Fire held back by a tight 3-wall. Oh, never mind. Fairy Fire just broke through that 3-wall, picking up lead jammer for Lansing. Breezy goes for the inside, gets through that pack. Not going to be lead jammer. Fairy Fire coming in for her first scoring pass. Wow, I just said that, and now she's already through for 4 points. Breezy picking up a penalty there. How'd I miss that? It's a power jam for Fairy Fire. Fairy Fire picking up another 4 points there for Lansing. 8-point jam so far for Fairy Fire. That's going to bring Lansing's total up to 111 points. And Fairy Fire's not slowing down, coming into a tight 3-wall there. Held down by Equinox, holding things down there, middle of the pack there for Downriver. Breezy coming back into action here, tangling up with Ghost Particle there on the inside. And Fairy Fire coming around for another 4 points for Lansing. pack is spread out and moving fast. Breezy coming around for 4 points there for Downriver. Fairy Fire forced back for a second there. Another 4 points for Lansing. 16-point jam so far for Fairy Fire, and the refs just called it off. Oh, Breezy did pick up 2 more points that jam. 6-point jam for Downriver. That's going to bring their total up to 31. Lansing still in the lead at 119. Downriver running into a little bit of penalty trouble here. Just 10 minutes to the half. We've got 3 blockers in the penalty box here. And it's Stormageddon on the jam line for Downriver. Meowched, number 39, jamming for Lansing. Meowched will be lead jammer, but Stormageddon out of that pack quick. And we've got a blocker from each team in the box, so it's 3-on-3. Meowch takes a hit to the outside and calls it off. Meowch did pick up 3 points of that jam. Nothing there for Downriver. And Axel Rolls has just called an official timeout. Seven 717 Animanic on the jam line again for Downriver. It's number 99 jamming for Lansing. That is number 93, I believe. Who is that? That is Scrappy jamming for Lansing. Downriver picking up 1 point on that jam. Lansing held scoreless. That's going to bring Downriver's total up to 30. Lansing at 122. Animanic did pick up a penalty that jam, so we're going to have a power jam for Lansing. Number 331, Hemlock, back on the jam line. Axel Rolls has called another official timeout with 8.5 minutes left to go in this first half. issues. Okay, 5 seconds has been called. We're about to roll into action here. Lansing having a little bit of penalty trouble this jam. It's 4-on-2 out there. So Hemlock running into a little bit of resistance there with Downriver in the pack, but she makes it past all the blockers, picking up lead jammer. Hemlock coming in for her first scoring pass of the jam. Has to get past Equinox there in the pack, picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. Anna Manic returns to the pack, looking to get the star pass. Unfortunately, Anna's pivot is in the penalty box. Night Train attempting to do some blocking there in the back. Hemlock on her second scoring pass. Anna Manic, no choice but to keep the star. That was Anna's first pass. No points yet for Downriver. Hemlock coming all the way through the pack for another 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 8-point jam so far for Lansing. Ronald Rajan returns to the pack, ready to do some damage. Anna Manic putting 4 points on the board for Downriver. Hemlock on her third scoring pass. Downriver putting up some resistance there in the pack. Number 310, Roxy Wrecker, holding things down for the crew from Downriver. Penalty box filling up with Lansing skaters here at the end of the jam. Hemlock picking up 4 more points there at the buzzer. Anna Manic answering with 4 there for Downriver. That's going to bring Lansing's total up to 136. Downriver trailing at 38. So we've got a 98-point game. Still 6 minutes left in this. This is only the first half. We have a lot of time for things to shake. Downriver has all the time in the world to shake things up here, but right now they have called for an official review. Lansing has 2 blockers in the box. Fairy Fire on the jam line for Lansing. And we've got number 314, Sour Apple Pie, wearing the star for Downriver. Fairy Fire taking away lead jammer. Fairy Fire blasting through that Downriver wall there. Sour Apple Pie attempting to do the same with the Lansing wall. Downriver has to let Fairy Fire go. Fairy Fire picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. Sour Apple Pie answering with 4 points for Downriver. Fairy Fire flips on those wheels, calls it off mid-pack. And we're going to end that jam. Both jammers all tied up. 4 points each that last jam. We got Breezy on the jam line for Downriver, joined by number 39, Meowch, wearing the star for Lansing. Oh, look at that, Meowch out first, picking up lead jammer. But what is this? Breezy breezing ahead of Meowch there, forcing a call off. World's quickest jam is over. Double goose egg. No points for anybody. Just 4.5 minutes left to go before halftime. Number 93, Scrappy, is back on the jam line for Lansing, joined by 717 Anna Manic of Downriver, and and referee Kitty has called an official timeout. Timeout's over. We're about to get back into action. Scrappy still the jammer for Lansing. Animatic still the jammer for Downriver. Oh, Scrappy taking a tumble, hitting the ground full force with those knee pads. Nice 2-wall there from Downriver. Downriver's pivot putting a halt there on Scrappy, but Scrappy picking up lead jammer. Animatic, meanwhile, stuck in the back of that pack there. Scrappy coming in for her first scoring pass. Cotton Candy Princess taking a swing and a miss there on Scraps. Scrappy coming around for 4 points. And that penalty box is filling right up. Everybody's getting a penalty this jam. Except for our jammers. They're still out there. Scrappy picking up another 4 points. 8-point jam so far for Lansing. And Animatic still on that initial, I believe. I'll make that a 12-point jam so far for Scrappy. And Animatic picking up 4 points there for Downriver. That's going to bring their total up to 46. Roxy Record tangling with Scrappy there at the front of the pack, but Scrappy comes through clean for 4. 16-point jam so far for Lansing. Animatic, meanwhile, coming in for another scoring pass. Night Train hits her to the outside. And Nice hit to the outside there from Dread Velvet of Downriver. Cotton Candy doing some bridging there in the middle of that pack. And Downriver, tight wall there at the front of that pack. Animanic tangling again with Night Train at the front of the pack, but that's still another 4 points going on the board for Animanic just as the jam is called off. And Scrappy did pick up an additional 3 points there at the end of that jam, so 19-point jam total for Lansing. And Axl Rose has called for a team timeout with just under 2 minutes left on the clock. All right, we're ready to roll. We got Hemlock back on the jam line for Lansing. She's going to be joined by Storm again, number 602, wearing the star for Downriver. And Hemlock's going to be lead jammer. Storm again breaking free at last. They will not be lead jammer. And Hemlock staying up on those toe stops halfway through the first scoring pass, calls it off. Oh, Hemlock still picked up all 4 points there. Nothing for Downriver. Fairy Fire coming back to the jam line for Lansing, joined by number 4, Breezy, wearing the star for Downriver. We're back in action. Fairy Fire sneaking around on the outside lane. Picking up lead jammer. Breezy taking the inside. Not too far behind. Oh, nice. Roxy Wrecker forcing Fairy Fire to the outside there. Cotton Candy Princess holding together that 3-wall there for Downriver. Downriver putting up quite the defense there, but in the front of the pack, Lansing not taking it easy there on Breezy, Warhol, and Cosmic Slams, and ganging up on Andy DeSpanko and Night Train joining the fun there. That 4-wall. Fairy Fire, nice, and trap there behind the pack. Oh, Fairy Fire out of the pack at last, picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. Breezy answering with 4 for Downriver. Oh, Fairy Fire didn't quite stick the landing on that apex jump. Cotton Candy Princess doing some recycling there. Both of our jammers almost neck and neck there in the pack. Warhol and DeSpanko holding things down there for Lansing at the front of the pack. Downriver blocker called out on a multiplayer. That won't help too much. Fairy Fire calls it off. Picking up 4 more points for Lansing. So 8-point jam there for Lansing. Breezy putting 11 points on the board for Downriver. That's going to be the half. So get some drinks, get some snacks. Don't forget to pick up your awesome Lansing Roller Derby t-shirt. Our merch table.
Yeah.
It's not always an injury on the court that takes you out. Pain and mobility issues arrive anywhere, at any time. The sports medicine providers at MSU Healthcare are here for your comeback.
Patients should expect that we'll spend time with them and listen to their symptoms, tailor a physical examination to their issues, and customize a treatment plan, whether it's surgical or non-surgical, to help them get back to their active lifestyle and goals that they're interested in.
Sports medicine is a bit of a misnomer. We don't only treat athletes or people involved in organized sport. I think the better title for this would really be movement medicine. If you have something that's limiting your ability to do those tasks, we're here for you to help you and get you back moving again.
Even though you're injured doesn't mean you can't be active. And I like being creative and finding ways to keep you active even though we're trying to rehab you through an injury or complaint.
MSU Healthcare Sports Medicine, official providers of MSU athletes and you.
All right, welcome back with the second half of tonight's second bout in this Lansing Roller Derby doubleheader. We got Meouch on the jam line for Lansing. Meouch is going to be lead jammer. Star for Downriver is number 717, Anna Manick. Meouch coming in for her first scoring pass of the jam. Blasted right through on the outside lane. Calls it off before Anna can reach the pack. Meouch is going to pick for Lansing. Downriver held scoreless. Number 93, Scrappy on the jam line for Lansing, joined by number 314, Sour Apple Pie, wearing the star for Downriver. Equinox cooling her wheels in the penalty box. We got a 3-on-4 pack out there. Scrappy goes for the outside lane, picking up lead jammer. Sour Apple Pie not quite getting the star pass there, but she's out of the pack. Ooh, nice hit there from Equinox at the back of the pack there on Scrappy. Downriver putting up some serious resistance that jam, forcing a call off by Scrappy. Scrappy did put 2 points on the board for Lansing. That's going to bring their total up to 181. Downriver trailing at 61. Number 331, Hemlock, coming back on the jam line for Lansing. This is number 4, Breezy, wearing the star for Downriver. Roxy Wrecker trying to open up the outside lane for Breezy. The bold strategy con, and it paid off. Breezy picking up lead jammer. This is first time Downriver has gotten lead this evening for you sports fans watching at home. Breezy coming in for first scoring pass. 4 points brought to you by number 4, Breezy. Hemlocked out of the pack there. Breezy coming in again, and Roxy Wrecker holding the inside lane open for Bree. Bree calls it off mid-pack, putting up 3 more points there for Downriver, so that's a 7-point jam for Downriver, nothing for Lansing. What? Animatic back on the jam line for Downriver, joined by Fairy Fire of Lansing. Both of our jammers caught up in the pack. Fairy Fire decides to take the outside, picks up lead jammer for Lansing. Animatic runs right into Cosmic Slams there in the pack. Now held to see a Night Train and Gadget guarding the inside there. Fairy Fire, meanwhile, coming around for 4. Animatic, meanwhile, out of that pack. No points yet. Baby Apex jump there for Fairy Fire. Swing and a miss there for Stormageddon. Fairy picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. Stormageddon headed to the penalty box for that swing and a miss. Must have been something happening there I'm not aware of. Fairy Fire taking another start at that pack. Animatic, meanwhile, on her first scoring pass of this jam. Nice blocking there from Cosmic Slams of Lansing. Penalty box filling up with Lansing blockers here. Fairy Fire cannot be stopped there. 12 points so far for Lansing. Animatic, meanwhile, out of the pack for 4. Animatic, meanwhile, putting up 4 points for Downriver. Scoop, but Cosmic Slams taking a hit there on Animatic. 4 points for Animatic, and Ringmaster calls the track cut. It's going to be a power jam for Lansing. But Cosmic Slams also picking up a penalty there. So everybody gets a penalty for that block. I don't know. What I do know is that Fairy Fire just put up a 20-point jam for Lansing. That's going to take them right over the double century mark at 201 points. 72 and Downriver has just called a team timeout / official review. Okay, we're back into action here. Animanic number 717. Return. Wait. Never mind, that's not Animanic on the jam line. Sorry about that. Number 39, Meowched, is on the jam line there for Lansing. This is number 314, Sour Apple Pie, wearing the star for Downriver, and Sour Apple Pie is going to be lead jammer. And Meowched just got, that was Meowch's initial pass. That was Sour Apple Pie's first scoring pass. 4 points this jam for Downriver. Both jammers run into some serious blocking there in the pack, but Meowch comes out first for 4. Both of our jammers neck and neck. Sour Apple Pie takes a cue from the bench, calls it off, so everybody gets 4 points. Wait. Oh, Sour Apple Pie picked up 3 more points that jam, so 3-point jam, 7-point jam total for Downriver. And we have another official timeout. Timeout's over. We are back in the derby action here. Scrappy coming back on the jam line for Lansing, joined by number 4, Breezy, wearing the star for Downriver. Oh, Scrappy's going to pick up lead jammer for Lansing, but look at this. Breezy hard on her wheels. Scrappy signaling her pack to keep going. Breezy hitting the pack first, forces a call off there from Scrappy. Scrappy did pick up 4 points that jam. No, 3, 4? Yeah, 4 points there for Lansing. Looks like Chip and Ringmaster might have a slight difference of opinion over the points there, but that happens. Number 88, Ready, Set, Riot, coming to the jam line for the first time this evening for Lansing. And we've got 717 Animanic wearing the star again for Downriver. Ready, Set, Riot caught up behind Roxy Wrecker and Equinox there in the pack. Animanic, meanwhile, has to line back up behind Babs the Bruiser. Ready, Set, Riot's going to be lead jammer. Animanic caught up in the Lansing trap there. Babs called out for a direction of gameplay. Animanic trying to get the star pass there in the pack. Meanwhile, Ready, Set, Riot on her first scoring pass. Downriver proving teamwork makes the dream work with that blocking action there. Roxy Wrecker and Team Pivot teaming up to make things very difficult for Riot there in the pack. The Cosmic Slam's not taking it any easier there on Animanic. Animanic finally finds a way through that pack. That was Animanic's initial pass. No points yet for Downriver. Both teams got a blocker in the box. It's a 3-on-3 pack. Riot just put 4 points on the board there for Lansing. And this is Animanic's first scoring pass. Anna managing to answer in kind with 4 points for Downriver. Riot putting up another 4 points, 8-point jam so far for Lansing. Pack is moving at a pretty good clip out there. Animanic also putting 4 points on the board for Downriver. Downriver now just 9 points below the century mark at 91. Ready, Set, Riot put another 4 points on. That's an 8-point jam so far for Lansing. And Riot's going to call it off. Make that a 16-point jam so far for Riot. That's going to bring Lansing's total up to 225 points. Downriver trailing at 91. And Lansing has just requested an official review. So Lansing was requesting that a destruction of pack penalty be rescinded on one of their blockers. This time the refs did not see it that way. Lansing does not retain their official review. All right, back into action here. We got Sour Apple Pie on the jam line. Downriver, Fairy Fire. Well, we all know who's Fairy Fire's jamming now because she just picked up lead jammer. Sour Apple Pie passing the star to number 602, Stormageddon. Fairy Fire on her first scoring pass. 4 points going on the board there for Lansing. Hit it and quit it. Fairy Fire decides to call it off. Downriver held scoreless. Number 4, Breezy, coming back to the jam line for Downriver. She'll be joined by number 39, Meouch, wearing the star for Lansing. Both jammers hitting that pack there at full force. And Meouch comes through first, picking up lead jammer for Lansing. Breezy Breezy is through that pack, rather. Downriver waiting for Meouch there. Nice blocking there from number 264, Timber Tantrum of Downriver. Roxy Wrecker also coming in to assist there with that block. But Breezy and Meouch both out of the pack. 4 points for everybody. Beef coming in to have a seat in the penalty box. Oh, so close, Breezy. Breezy hits the outside lane with some force there. Meouch takes advantage. Meouch picking up 4 points there for Lansing. Penalty box filling up quick here. Bree answering in kind with 4 points for Downriver. Meouch on a third scoring pass there on turn 4. Oh, Bree finds a hole on the outside and takes it. 4 more points on the board for Breezy. 12-point jam so far for Downriver. Meouch answers in kind with 4 points for Lansing. 12-point jam for both jammers so far. Breezy just shrugging off those Lansing blockers like it ain't no thing. Breezy picking up 4 points, 16-point jam so far for Downriver. Meouch, meanwhile, caught up in the Downriver trap. Warhol rejoining the pack, ready to do some damage there. And Breezy coming through yet again for another 4 points. 20-point jam there, brought to you by Breezy. Meouch picking up 16 for Lansing. And that's going to bring Lansing's total to 245. Downriver at 111. And Axel Rolls has called an official timeout. Well, that was fast. Jessica Rabbit holding down the Downriver defense there at the front of the pack. Scrappy back on the jam line for Lansing. Animatic wearing the star for Downriver. Animatic slamming right into Night Train and Despanko there in the pack. But Animatic cannot be stopped. Animatic is going to be lead jammer. Scrappy there, so close in pursuit. Will Farrell rejoining the pack from the penalty box here. Scrappy almost calls it off, realizes, oh crap, I'm not lead this time. Animatic is lead though. Anna calls it, but it appears Anna's jam ref has called her on a track cut. But Anna did pick up 3 points there for Downriver. Scraps answering with 4 for Lansing, and this is going to be a power jam for Lansing. Ready, set, riot, number 88, back on the jam line for Lansing. No pack has been called. Bad Attitude skates forward, reforming the pack. Downriver focusing on the defense there, but Riot's just a little bit too quick. Ready, set, riot, going to be lead jammer. And Ready, Set, Riot coming in for her first scoring pass. Running into the Downriver defense. Riot calls it off. Well, she probably... looks like Riot picked up 2 points that jam. That's going to bring Lansing's total up to 251. Downriver at 114, and we are on an official timeout. Never mind, we're not in a timeout anymore. We're back into action here with Sour Apple Pie on the jam line for Downriver. Fairy Fire coming back to jam for Lansing. Nice blocking there from number 602, Stormageddon of Downriver. And Sour Apple Pie is going to be lead jammer. Fairy Fire coming up quick, though. Sour Apple Pie signaling the pack to keep going. Sour Apple Pie coming in for her first scoring pass. Gets through the pack, calls it off. And Sour Apple Pie put 2 points on the board there for Downriver, but Fairy Fire answered with 4 for Lansing. Meouch, number 39, coming. Oh, and Downriver has just called a team timeout. While we're on timeout here, just want to remind you about the Salis Center. Salis Center's mission is to build and serve an inclusive 2SL LGBTQIA plus community in the greater Lansing area. They envision a greater Lansing community where 2SL LGBTQIA plus people thrive as their whole authentic selves. Don't forget, coming up, mark your calendars for May 30th, Salis Center presenting Prom 2026 Carnival Extravaganza. This formal dance for adults is a chance to attend an affirming prom for 2S LGBTQIA plus adults and allies. Tickets on sale now on the Salis Center website, saliscenter.org. Also, keep Salis coming up a little sooner than that is their 4th Trans Day Visibility Celebration at Gruel Hall, downtown Lansing. Mark your calendars for that, Tuesday, March 31st. So Meouch is still on the jam line for Lansing. Downriver still on the Animatic still on the jam line for Downriver. Animatic coming up against that tight 3-wall there. Bad Attitude and Warhol and Babs holding things down. Meouch, meanwhile, finds a hole on the inside and takes it. Meouch is going to be lead jammer. Animatic forced to the back of the pack there. Nice hit from Annie DeSpanko. Annie DeSpanko recycling. Manic halfway around the track. Meouch, meanwhile, coming in for her first scoring pass. And Meouch picking up all 4 points there for Lansing. And that was Animatic's initial pass. No points yet for Downriver. Meouch, meanwhile, just picked up another 4 points for Lansing. So 8-point jam so far for Meouch. This is Animatic's first scoring pass. Spanko recycling her again, giving Meouch all the time she needs to put another 4 points on the board for Lansing. 12-point jam so far for Meouch. Annie DeSpanko and Babs taunt Animatic at the back of the pack there. Meanwhile, Meouch running into a little bit of trouble there with Timber Tantrum and the gang at the front of the pack, but Meouch still comes through for 4 points. 16-point jam so far for Lansing. And that was Animatic's first successful pass through the pack, so no points yet for Downriver. Meanwhile, Meouch putting another 4 on the board for Lansing. 20-point jam so far. And it looks like Meouch going to let the clock run out on this one. Coming in for a second score. Oh, another scoring pass. Lots of whistles there to commemorate the end. Animatic did pick up 1 point there for Downriver, but that was a 24-point jam for Meouch of Lansing Roller Derby. 12 minutes remaining on the clock here. Scrappy is coming back to the jam line for Lansing. Going to be joined by number 4, Breezy, wearing the star for Downriver. And right away, Breezy running into Will Farrell there in the pack. Oh, Will Farrell goes tumbling down, and Breezy picks up lead jammer. Scrappy out of the pack will not be lead. Breezy coming in for her first scoring pass. But out of nowhere, here comes Scrappy for 4 points. Bree calls it off. Bree did pick up 1 point there for Downriver. But that 4-point jam will bring Lansing's total to 283. Downriver trailing at 118. Ready, Set, Riot, number 88, returns to the jam line for Lansing, joined by Sour Apple Pie, number 314, wearing the star for Downriver. Bad Attitude, Warhol, and Annie DeSpanko holding down that blocker line there for Lansing. Oh, but Sour Apple Pie just just a little bit too slick. Sour Apple Pie will be lead jammer. Ready, Set, Riot didn't quite get the star pass that time. Sour Apple Pie coming in for her first scoring pass. Warhol and Bad Aptitude lie in wait, but Apple Pie's too slick, coming through for 4 points. Riot, meanwhile, on her first scoring pass. Sour Apple Pie coming in for a second scoring pass. Bad Aptitude again, holding down that line. Babs guarding the inside lane. Sounds like no pack's been called out there. And Apple Pie comes through for 4. 8-point jam for those of you keeping track at home. Babs coming to the penalty box for that block. Riot, meanwhile, stuck on her first scoring pass there in the pack. Beautiful defense there from Roxy Wrecker, and Stormageddon. Sour Apple Pie out for another 4 points. 12-point jam so far for Downriver. And Sour Apple Pie does it again. 16-point jam so far for Sour Apple Pie. Beautiful. Oh, nice hit there from, I believe that was Squidget of Downriver. Ready, Set, Riot takes another stab at getting through the pack. 20-point jam, meanwhile, for Sour Apple Pie. Nice hit to the outside there from Abby as the jam is called off. And Riot did pick up 4 points at the end of that jam, but Downriver, an incredible 20-point jam there from Sour Apple Pie, but that's going to bring Downriver's total up to 138. Lansing still in the lead at 287. Number 310, Roxy Wrecker taking the star for the first time this evening for Downriver. Fairy Fire wearing the star for Lansing. Fairy Fire looking for that hole in the pack. Stormageddon's not making it easy. And Roxy Wrecker, wait. That is not Roxy Wrecker. That is number 4, Breezy. Whoopsie. Breezy is going to be lead jammer. Breezy's on her first scoring pass, takes a cue from Coach Chip and calls it off. 3 points going on the board there for Breezy. Lansing held scoreless. We got Meowch coming back to the jam line for Lansing. This is number 717, Animanic, wearing the star for Downriver. Babs looking to break up that wall there for Meowch, but Meowch does some breaking of her own. Number 39, Meowch picking up lead jammer. Animanic breaking through that pack there. Blink and you miss it. Meowch coming in for her first scoring pass. Swing and a miss there from number 621 Equinox of Downriver. Animanic so close getting through that pack. Animanic called out. Both jammers called out on a penalty simultaneously. It's a no jam. And Animanic back in the action. Meowch still in the box. Oh, Animanic loves that penalty box so much. She just missed Meowch, you know. She wanted to come back, make sure she had some company. And now Meowch back in the action, so it's going to be a power jam for Lansing. Deacon Brews coming in for a little track repair there in the middle. And Meowch picks up 4 points there for Lansing. So Meowch coming in for a second scoring pass, going for the outside first, then the inside. Downriver walled up tight. Roxy Wrecker lies in wait in the front of the pack, but Meowch gets through for 4. 8-point jam so far. Lansing just 5 points below the triple century mark at 295. Animatic still cooling those wheels in the penalty box. 8 seconds left on the jam clock. 4 more points. 12-point jam so far for Meouch. Lansing and we're gonna end this jam with Lansing at the 299 points. Downriver 141, and we've got another official time out going on. So we're going to start this jam. We got Sour Apple Pie, number 314 on the jam line for Downriver, joined by number 93, Scrappy. Wearing the star for Lansing. Oh, you blink and you miss it. Scrappy's going to be lead jammer. Sour Apple Pie still stuck in the pack there. Sour Apple Pie taking a ride there. Number 15, Ghost Particle in the pack. Sour Apple Pie looking to get a star pass there. Scrappy, meanwhile, on her first scoring pass there in the pack. Nice blocking there from Cotton Candy Princess at the back of the pack. Scrappy finds a hole on the inside and takes it. 4 points there for Scrappy. And just like that, Lansing is officially over the triple century mark at 303 points. And Sour Apple Pie, meanwhile, coming around for 4. Scrappy isn't done yet. That's another 4 points there for Scrappy. 8-point jam so far for Lansing. As Sour Apple Pie is not done yet either. Coming up against Night Train there in the pack. Scrappy finds a hole on the outside, takes it. 12-point jam there for Lansing. Scrappy almost out of the pack. Takes a hit from Will Farrell there. Takes another hit from Will Farrell. Will Farrell takes herself out with that hit. Sour Apple Pie coming away for 4. 8-point jam so far for Downriver. Scrappy picking up another 4, so that's a 16-point jam for Lansing. Sour Apple Pie hitting that pack at full speed. Strategy pays off. Another 4 points going on the board for Downriver. Another 4 going on the board for Scrappy. So for those of you keeping track at home, that's a 20-point jam so far for Scrappy, 12-point jam for Sour Apple Pie. We still have 6 seconds left on the jam clock. Wow, that was fast. Make that a 16-point jam for Sour Apple Pie and a 24-point jam for Scrappy. Ready, Set, Riot returns to the jam line there for Lansing. Number 4, Breezy, is going to be wearing the star for Downriver. We got a 5-on-5, nobody in the penalty box. It's an all skate. Ready, Set, Riot coming up against that 4 wall there in the front of the pack. Nice blocking there from Dread Velvet in the pack. And Breezy's going to be lead jammer. Ready, Set, Riot trying to get a star pass there in the pack. Breezy. Shut up, I'm trying to focus. Breezy coming in for her first scoring pass, calls it off. So we got a double goose egg there on that jam. We got number 602, Stormageddon, coming back to jam. For Downriver, joined by number 130, Fairy Fire, wearing the star for Lansing. Oh, Downriver muscling their way into that Lansing wall here. Downriver wall spread out. Oh, never mind. Fairy Fire taking a ride on Sour Apple Pie there. The refs don't know who's lead jammer, so neither do we. Stormageddon tries to call it off, but they're not lead jammer, I don't think. I guess lead must still be open. And Fairy Fire's tangling with Sour Apple Pie again. But Fairy Fire still put 4 points on the board there for Lansing. Downriver held scoreless. We have just over a minute left to go on the period clock. That means we have one, maybe 2 more jams left in this bout, and the refs have called an official timeout. We have Meowch, number 39, on the jam line for Lansing. Breezy, number 4, wearing the star for Downriver. And Meowch blasts through that pack, picking up lead jammer. Breezy hot on her wheels, though. And what is this? Breezy overtakes Meowch, hits that pack first. Scoots through on the inside, though. Oh, Annie DeSpanko ready with the recycle there. Meowch, meanwhile, coming around for 4 points. Bree picking up a penalty for that. It's going to be a power jam for Lansing. And that's going to be another 4 points for Meowch. Back is at a standstill. One Downriver blocker trying to break up that Lansing wall. That's Timber Tantrum you see in the back trying to break apart that Lansing wall. But Meowch blasts right through the Downriver wall, calls off the jam. And that's going to be it, sports fans. Make sure we're going to be. So, great job, both teams. And Thank you so much to all of you, the fans, for coming out here, sharing your Saturday night with us right here at Court 1. Big thank you to Downriver making the trip up here from South Detroit to play roller derby with us here tonight in Lansing. Thank you so much to all of our refs, our NSOs, our medics. Thank you so much to Devin and Candace, our wonderful IT team. If you are watching this at home, they're the ones making sure that you have not missed a second of derby action here tonight. And once again, thank you so much for the Court Run for being our host. And a big thank you to all of our fans. Thank you for staying to the end. We're glad you came. We do this for you, and we hope to see you back here again on April 25th for Lansing Roller Derby's next home doubleheader.